Oh, baby. We got football on Sunday. Tony, I open up this damn show. I pull up the first comment I see, and what is this bullshit? First of all, Rip, you're new, so that's okay. You can have
doubt
one
he's
strike.
even new anyways. I doubt he's probably never even.
No, listen, I'm taking his comment somewhat seriously, and I'm going to pretend he's not a troll for I don't know, 20 seconds. He's new. I don't know what show he listened to. Maybe he listened to the free show. I didn't get a chance to listen to the whole free show, but I thought those guys did a great job as normal. JT was on it. So right then and there, I mean, the show's a plus just from JT being on it, period. But, either way, I guess he didn't watch the late show, Tony.
Him serious though. What was the bad advice? What did we say?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I
don't think you could be talking about our show though, because I don't think any show you could have listened to from any site was talking up Brevin Jordan and Harrison Bryant. I don't know, Tony. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we were premium yesterday. You're right. They probably wasn't talking shit to us, but
yeah,
they either way.
Well, if you were talking, if you weren't, then that's a reason to maybe sign up.
And all the chat's saying that JT said Kareem Hunt. So,
yeah, there you go. See,
that's a pretty good start right there, Kareem Hunt. On the premium show, we didn't talk up Kareem Hunt. I'll tell you that.
Now he's saying it was a joke.
Yeah. Usually when people are like that, they're just trolling and trying.
So he does have the premium. So there you go. I mean, either way, I'll be honest. Like Tony, I was wrong about both games because I picked two losers yesterday, so I was definitely wrong on the old betting side.
One more coming today.
Yeah, I got at least one more coming today from old Tony, and I wonder what it is. I mean, it could be the Cowboys. Look at that fucking jersey, by the way.
Just
I mean,
for you,
God.
baby. Oh, where's VIP at?
No, VIP needs his own section, by the way. We haven't talked about this yet. Can we get like a VIP jerk off Dallas Cowboy channel?
He is a little annoying with it. He won't stop. He makes me want to root against the Cowboys.
Like I make jokes like Snyder irks me because he keeps tapping me a little bit.
He's brutal with the Ravens stuff. He's brutal.
But it's not even close to VIP. It's not even they're not even in the same ballpark, and that's amazing.
And everyone around here on Kentucky's the same way. Like everyone's got their teams. I hate team guy. Team guy annoys me.
I hate team guy too. But one other thing too, by the way. So yesterday, the Chiefs are obviously winning. It's 26 to whatever the final score ended up being. But there was still time left. And of course, the Chiefs fans are in our Discord, and then where's Big T? Where's JSU? Where's
every time they win, these guys do this.
And so I go in there. I'm right here, and they're like, take your L, shut up and take it. I'm like, okay. So I just okay, you want me to just sit here and be like, okay, you were right. Wow, you got one win. Congrats, awesome. Okay, what about the whole season when we were right on the Chiefs the entire time? But that doesn't count for anything. I picked the loser. That's fine. I like Miami on
it was definitely the wrong team. Absolutely.
It was the wrong team.
We got 100%.
Smoked. Tua was terrible. And I love how people were complaining about the play calling too.
Why do people always make freaking excuses? This pisses me off about every team. It's not always the coach. Stop blaming the coach for everything. And this goes to every team out there.
Listen, though.
Stop blaming Miami did not lose because of coaching.
No,
people.
If anything, they only lost by 19 or 20, whatever it was, 19 or whatever it was. They only lost by 19 because of coaching. Because I'll tell you right now, if McDaniels didn't call all those run plays and everything like that, Tua would have had 5 picks easily. He was terrified to get hit. That first pick he threw, Tony, I don't know if you saw it, but he was in the pocket and there was no pressure. And he was in there for 4 seconds. And he couldn't find anyone, and he just got oh shit, I got to get rid of this, or I'm eventually going to get. And he just threw it up there. That was the first pick of the game. It was literally just him in the pocket, no pressure. He got terrified because he's eventually someone's going to hit me, and he just threw it up. Mike McDaniel tried to hide Tua, which comes to the point of, is that the coach's fault, or is that just like maybe they need to get rid of Tua and go somewhere else.
What did the couch coaches want them to do?
I mean, I don't. Maybe not run the ball on first down every single play.
I mean, Tua sucks though. Like
I know
sucks. I mean, they can only do so much.
Yeah, and listen, so I thought that Miami was going to have a better, chance of running the football on the Chiefs. I was wrong there. And obviously the weather played a factor, but like still the Chiefs had to play in that weather too. I did think it was funny though, Tony. Did you see the one rush Pat Mahomes had where he ran the ball for like 30 yards and number 40? Well, he had 2 of them, but there was one where number 45 for the Dolphins. I don't know his name. He
literally just whipped him.
He 2-hand tapped him. He gave him 2-hand tap.
I don't even know if he got both hands.
He thought it was 2-hand touch for a second with Pat Mahomes, and he literally touched him with 2 hands. Like, I was just like, what? And even the announcer was like, this is embarrassing. That's embarrassing.
It was in the middle of the field, too. It wasn't near the sideline.
Not even close to the side, like literally. Right side, but not the sideline.
He could have killed him right there, too. He had a clear shot.
Oh, yeah. Like the Joe Flacco play where the guy did the spin-a-rooney on his back, but could have killed him. Like, he could have literally laid him out and just chose not. But that goes back to my thing where Pat Mahomes has everyone terrified because they know if they, hit him in the wrong, like easily just guaranteed flag. But at that point, you got to take your shot, I think. You know what I mean? It's like you're losing. You just ran for 30 yards on you. You got to lay them out. You got to make them think twice. I don't know. But, yeah, that was one game, Tony. The other game was Houston-Cleveland. I know you were on the Houston side. I was on the Cleveland side. And it started out hot. Like, the game started out, and it looked like it was going to be like a 45 to, 40 game. And it wasn't. It ended up being a just absolute smacking for the Houston Texans. I mean, what'd you think of old CJ?
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those games you look back later, and I was on the right side, but you look back and you're like, did I really take Flacco over CJ Stroud on the road with better players on Houston? You look back and you're like, Houston's better at every position. Maybe not the line. Maybe the line's a little better for Cleveland, but you just have a better team. And Amari Cooper was hurt. It was one of those games you look back and you're like, how did I not just bury that game?
The line wasn't better last night. I'll tell you that. That line was terrible last night. But we finally got our third. Tony, we finally got whole. We got our third, partner.
Yeah, there he is. I didn't have it up. There he is.
Tony's been leaving me on red for a week.
Invented the idea for the toaster. That guy, this guy? Yeah, this guy. Mm-hmm.
Well, the reason why I say that is that I've realized that in my life, because I did it on the golf show with Andy on Tuesday, is that I come up with these ideas that I think are original about inventions. And he's like, yeah, that's already been done. So I've got this idea.
This week you were going to invent a toaster?
Well, that's in my example. It's like, I got this idea for 2 slices of bread. You put them in, they come out hot. Yeah, it's a toaster.
It's a good idea.
Been around for 75 years.
I like it. I got a brother like you, Wiley. Invent shit that's already invented. I got one of them.
The thing is, Tony has been putting me on red for 4 days now. Unresponded texts.
Let me look.
I've got like 8.
Friday, 11:05, you wrote me and I wrote back.
Yeah.
You wrote one message. It says, how is the dog? And I didn't write back to that. So I left one text message on red, and it says
that is a text, Wiley, that you should know probably won't get a response out of Big T, because Big T don't care about how the dog is. He don't know how the dog is. His wife's taking care of the dog.
What is this? What?
Hang on.
Moans when he wipes. What? I don't even know what that means, and it's funny.
I'm trying to print out your sheet, so I'm missing this, and I don't know where StreamYard is. Hang on, where am I? Fuck. Where's the StreamYard tab? There it is. Wiley definitely moans. Was he the same guy?
But it's funny.
Yeah, that's funny. That's not bad. 6 out of 10. Come on, haze me all day. I'm printing out your sheet. flow chart.
Supercuts, baby.
All
It's a
day,
sponsor.
baby.
Everyone
All
wants
day.
to see Jibby. They all love Reggie. They want Jibby.
The Jibby, yeah. It's always the new thing, Tony, right? It's always the new thing. You think you're the cool, you think you're the cool number one thing until the new thing comes around, and then you just get shoved to the side. And, everyone wants Jibby, which I will say, though, Jibby and Reggie are definitely going to be on opposite sides of this slate. 100%. I said it in the Discord. Jibby and Reggie will not be getting along for this slate, but maybe one day they'll get along. You never know.
This is a good point from Redmond because I'll be honest. I'm always honest. When I seen his first catch and he went down, I genuinely didn't even think he was hurt going into the game. And immediately I knew I was wrong. So I'll take my fault. I definitely didn't think it was serious.
Was it when he got up and it looked like he was a 90-year-old man?
Done right away. And I had Houston, so I was like, I'm in pretty good shape now. But I knew right away Amari Cooper was done. He couldn't move at all.
I will say this. By the way, here you go.
That's nice. Did you get colored? Did you update the portfolio? Why does it look so good?
Motherfucker, I just dropped a drink and it's all over me.
I heard.
But I'm gonna plow through. No, it's always been in color. You're colorblind.
No, I actually changed it a little though because I made the columns darker. It looks better.
All right.
Ooh,
so
you
yes,
a good moisture. I saw it on the elbow. You got a good little.
I'm late today because we're sweating golf, and JT Poston was our play in the golf chat today. He just streaked, and then topped it off with an eagle. He is the stone nuts at 7% in Showdown in Golf. Jump in that channel if you want winners.
I want winners.
You should have jumped in the channel. I've been in there all morning. Moan for us. Ooh, that's in the after hours premium subscription.
I would never leave you on red if you were moaning, for the record.
How's your boy Carl doing?
Great. He's -10. Carl, you won 335 and you won. He's a great play this week.
Guy was like 400-1 or some crap like that, right, Wiley? Was he to win?
He was 250, I think.
On FanDuel, he was 400, I think.
Yeah, and he was the stone leader after Friday.
Crazy.
We're on Kirk back-to-back, so we're sweating that a little bit. JT Poston. By the way, JT Poston and McCarthy, as of 5 minutes ago, were still triple digits, and they are absolutely boat racing this course right now at the turn. So, hey, you want a little sweat? There you go. I will say this. Yesterday, I jumped in the NFL chat from the golf chat for about 2 minutes, and I said two things. And they can validate this in the NFL chat. I said Kareem Hunt is the play. Always play Kareem Hunt. And I said David Bell is 335-1, or Watson. And what did I do? I didn't play them together, and they were the Millie. So I think we've got a similar setup today, by the way.
David Bell, didn't he catch 8 balls for 60 yards or something like that? He was double your 335-1.
Yeah. I didn't like Ford. I thought Hunt would get the touchdown. He got 2 early. I liked all of it.
Yeah, they brought him in on every red zone and goal line trip pretty much was Kareem Hunt. Jerome Ford got very little red zone work. It was all Kareem Hunt. So if you were on Kareem Hunt, that was great.
Yeah,
call.
Check the chat, baby. I went in there. I said, let's go Kareem Hunt. And I jumped out. I got to put more winners back into golf. We've got this slate nailed today, by the way. I am as comfortable with these games as I have been in a while.
Good. All right. Well, let's get into this then, and let's talk this slate. We're going to do the 3-game slate on DK is what we're going to talk about, guys.
Yeah,
so
of course.
If you want tomorrow's game for the Bucks game, we'll be doing that 3 p.m. Eastern. Might even be premium too. I think. I haven't talked with all the bosses yet, but it might be a premium show. So if you want to get in, do we have a code, Wiley, still going on?
Yeah, we've got New Year's or New Year, and maybe Twitter 15 but both of them get you 15% off your first payment.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'll probably post a core. I'm getting used to this core posting stuff. I've been doing it for golf. Golf's a big sweat today. Big sweat.
All right. So if we see Wiley go like nuts and it's not even football time yet, we know he's sweating golf. JSU can't do basic math. I mean, duh.
So what game do we want to start with? Green Bay, Dallas? Or
I think, should we go position by position? What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, you guys do what you want, whatever's comfortable for you. But
I mean, on short slates, I normally go position by position, but I don't know. Tony, what do you think?
I mean, it doesn't matter. Whatever.
I think 2 games, yes. 3 games. Let's go games.
All right. All right, games. Green Bay, Dallas. Then we'll start there. 7-point spread, 51 total here. Green Bay, obviously the dog in Dallas. Quarterbacks, I assume that Dak Prescott will be pretty popular here on this slate at 7,600. I do think Jordan Love will get a little ownership, but Dak will definitely be more popular here. And with the Buffalo game being moved, those quarterbacks, specifically Josh Allen's going to get more ownership. So Dak and Jordan Love, what do you guys think of them to start? Wiley, I'll throw it to you.
I think there's a lot of interesting here because it's how you play Lamb, right? And he's going to be massively owned, 45-50%, which he should. I mean, he had a 44-point game last week.
Guy's been nutting every week, it feels like.
But then you see, was Amari Cooper injured yesterday? Is that why he was sort of
he played through an injury, but it was kind of like Redmond, I think, said it in chat. Like, I don't think anyone realized how actually injured he was and how he was like, he probably was only playing because that was a playoff game. Like, if that was any other game, I don't think he even suits up. But because it was a playoff game, he was like, screw it. Like, I got to try.
Yeah, because he was like, the super stud that, we all played, and he buried us. I don't think the same thing is going to happen with Lamb here. He's going to be super highly owned for a reason. Even at a 20 projection, I put him in. He's still, with contest sims applied, 33% exposed in my lineup. So, but I do. So Lamb is not like a revolutionary take here. But I think the 3K range this week plays more importantly than ever. And the one play I like here in the Dallas game, in the group of guys that we're going to talk about, the 3K range that have a lot of potential, and there's some great prices. I know exactly where Tony's going in the Detroit game in the 3K range. Jalen Tolbert has a big X here for me, and so does, and in the 4K range, Brandon Cooks. Could you play those two instead of Lamb? Possibly. Could you play 2 of the 3? Definitely. I think Tolbert, what is he, 3K? Is in that group of people that could really perform at that price range, because there's some guys in the 4K range, which we'll get to, Kincaid, Ferguson in this game, Leonard Fournette, which is sort of a interesting play for me. But a lot of these guys at 3K range can outscore them. Tolbert, I like. Cooks, I like a lot. I think even though Jordan Love has not thrown an interception, so 1 interception in 8 weeks, and he's played really, really well, I think Dallas puts one up on Green Bay at home. But, even on the Green Bay side, a lot to like. Wicks. I wish I had his pricing in front of me. Who else did I have here circled?
Wicks is 4,800.
Wicks is 4,800. Okay. Kraft, potential. And then Bo Melton, 3,300. Played 70% of snaps last week. He's in that bucket of players with Tolbert at the 3K range that one of them is going to go off, like in the David Bell scenario. So here I like obviously the Dallas wide receivers. I think Dallas puts one up on Green Bay. I don't want to like Aaron Jones in a very bad running back week, but he's had 3 good games in a row. I hate Aaron Jones. He's dusty. I want to hear your opinions of this, but Pollard, no, I'm not playing Pollard. I cannot do Pollard.
All right, so a couple things before I throw it to Tony here. So one, I seen it in the chat, our chat. Jair Alexander and Christian Watson are both active for this game, and there was some stuff. I know Mangone put something in the chat. Someone dropped something about how, like, you know, they were pushing to play. So who knows how healthy they actually are? But I'm sure with this being such a big game, they don't want to sit out. You know what I mean? So
no.
You know, I would just say, like, it's an interesting point where, you know, the coach was really, that was a dilemma. Like, do I let 2 of my better players play in this game over giving someone else who's fully healthy a jersey, you know? So I think that's interesting here, but they're clearly not 100% is my point to all this. So I would just be very cautious.
And who drops in that scenario, right? Like, you're a big Malik Heath guy, but then that.
So no, I was going to say, like, the other thing that I want to touch on with your Bo Melton thing, Dobbs got hurt the last time they played. So when you look at that snap count, that's with Dobbs being hurt. He is in, but all these guys, Dobbs, Watson, Reed, they've all been injured throughout the year. Like, so I do think the Packers are a team, they rotate 4 receivers anyways. Bo Melton would be the 5th guy of the top 4 with Watson, Wicks, Dobbs, Reed. And I think Wicks has moved ahead of Dobbs in a way where, like, I think he's just better. And I think the coaches see it too, where, like, that he's just better on the outside or has done better than Dobbs. So, you know, that's just one thing to note. I don't think Christian Watson plays a ton. I could see Bo Melton getting more work because he's looked really good too. And that would be at the expense of, you know, Watson playing limited snaps and maybe Romeo Dobbs snaps getting cut just a little bit. So just things to keep in mind when looking at numbers is they're not all equal. Heath is inactive, Kevin says in the chat. So Malik Heath, that just shows you, though, they definitely like Bo Melton a lot. If that's
Heath is inactive. So
yeah, if that's the case. So yeah. Exactly. So I think all those receivers play, and I'll just put that out. I think they all get run from Bo Melton all the way up to, you know, Reed and Dobbs and Watson and Wicks.
The sub 5K ranges, you know, obviously one of these players is likely going to play in the final lineup, but you've got a lot of guys in the 3s who can outscore the 4s. You've got Cooks versus who do we just talk about? Wicks, right? Same price essentially. Both of these guys can have big games. It's tough. It's very tough. And who gets the touchdown? Does Tolbert get the touchdown? You know, you look at the Detroit game, you got Jameson Williams, we'll get to it, Josh Reynolds. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of pieces here, a lot of cheap pieces that you can go through in this game specifically. And we still have 2 more games to talk about, which we'll be able to find cheap guys. But Tony, you've been sitting there pretty quiet. You got a Dallas jersey on, so I assume everyone kind of knows where you're going with this game and who you like. But, you know, if you want to give your favorite play, I assume you're on Dallas today. Do you like the over, the under? Do you think the Packers score? How do you see this game going?
Yeah, as the week's gone and it's closer, it's got to game time. My confidence is getting higher and higher. I think it's definitely going to be a blowout. I think they blow them out bad. I think the Packers look terrible today. I want no Packers anywhere. The only guy I could see playing is Patrick Taylor just because he's 4K. And I could see him getting a little bit of the dump down work without anyone in there but Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is going to be popular. These Packers are going to be way too popular for me. I think they just get steamrolled, and I love Dallas to score 40, so I want as much Dallas as I can have. Dak, I think Dak's actually going to be lower owned than people think. I mean, you look at our cores on the site, you look around, I don't see him getting near as popular as people think. I think he'll end up being in the 20s, which is just crazy. on a 3-game slate. So I love Dak. The running back, Pollard's been my nemesis all year. So the way the pricing sets up as we get into these next games too, with these good receivers in the Detroit game, I'm giving serious consideration to punting running back. I mean, I know we're not going position by position, but you have to save somewhere, and everyone's going to do the same thing where they save at receiver a little bit because we do have a bunch of cheap guys, and they are good plays. But like we always talk about, flipping the build, if you can play Amon-Ra and CD and one of these other receivers up top together and they all get 30, you're going to be different and you're going to smash the field because of it. So I'm giving serious consideration to flipping the build. Like, everyone's going to want to play Aaron Jones, Pollard, Kyren, Gibbs, these good guys. I'm giving some consideration to playing. For one, I think Cook will be lower owned, so you can put him in the mix too as we go. But I just like Rico Dowdle has been getting more and more involved. He looks better to me than Pollard. He does. It's similar to our takes yesterday with the tight ends, where if 50% of the field's going to play Pollard, and I love Dallas, and I think Dallas is going to blow him out, Rico Dowdle has a role in there. And if he can get me 12 or something, man, I'm in good shape to be able to spend up at other positions. So I
agree with you. I started at the Buffalo-Pittsburgh game, and, I could say, okay, it's going to be terrible weather there through tomorrow. It's going to snow during game time. It's not going to get improved. It's not going to improve. You saw Fournette get a couple of goal line touches. He didn't get in, but I could see Fournette getting 12, right, at 4,400. And then I looked at Najee Harris over the last few weeks, has smashed. He's low 5K. He's going to get all the work. And I thought, okay, I could start a build with Fournette and Najee Harris and then go Lamb, Kupp, ASB, or a Diggs who's cheap, but the game sucks.
Any of the 3 spend-up receivers,
right.
Any of the ones you like.
That's exactly where I went. But here's the problem, is that Aaron Jones has had 3 big weeks. He's 6,300. I mean, I don't know.
It just comes down to who you like in this game. Like, if you like the Packers to get blown out, then you should not like Aaron Jones. Like, you should be on Tony's side, where you're fading a lot of the Packers. You're not going to be on them as much. And if you think the Packers hang in there and make this a game, well, if they hang in there, how do they hang in there? Do they hang in there by, slowing Dak Prescott and that offense down? I don't think so. Do they hang in there by scoring? That's how I think they hang in there. I think if the Packers cover this 7 or have a chance to win, they're scoring with Dallas. That's how I think it happens. And you got to remember too, the way in which you beat Dallas is a very aggressive defense. You have to be even more aggressive. And the one thing we know about Jordan Love is he loves to be aggressive. That's what he wants to do. It's like it's a perfect fit, so it's going to go one of 2 ways. I think it's going to go either really good for the Packers or really bad, and you just got to say, which side am I on? Am I on the side of, is the Packers going to do really good? That's the side I'm on. Or is the Packers going to do really bad? And that's the side Tony's on. See, none of us are in the middle. And if you're in the middle, I think you're going to really struggle with this game. I think you have to be on one side or the other with this game. And that's the way I see it. I think, Dak Prescott's going to be like 30% owned.
I don't
Josh
think so.
Allen, I think, is going to be like 25% owned because he's just Josh Allen. And because these guys' price tags are easy to get to on this slate, because they gave us plenty of cheapies. We haven't even talked about, we haven't gotten to these other games where there's going to be really, really good cheapies in good spots that I think are close to plug-in plays. And you guys are talking about some cheapies you can play at running back even. So it's not going to be hard for people to spend up at quarterback. So I think Josh Allen and Dak Prescott make up, probably almost 60% of the ownership on this slate. So that leaves, Matthew Stafford's going to get some ownership, I think double digits. I think Jordan Love gets about 10, 12, 15%, somewhere in that range. And then, Jared Goff and then Rudolph way down, gets like 2 or 3%. But that's the quarterback ownership right there. So,
Yeah, we'll get to this game in a second, but the Kyron Williams ceiling game, he almost could be someone you have to play. But 7,300, you could have some of these huge wide receivers outscore him. But for me, if you want to take the approach that Tony said, and I agree with him, is that a Fournette, a Dowdle, a Najee Harris group with 2 running backs max, none in flex, because I think there's some 3K plays that could outscore. I think that why is Big T wearing a trash bag? B. McNair. Yeah, that's where I am too. I hate playing Aaron Jones. I hate playing chalk Aaron Jones.
Yeah, you know what? I like the Packers, and I still don't want to play Aaron Jones. But I think I need to have some, just because it's probably wrong to play all these Packers and fade Aaron Jones. But I do want to do that, honestly. I probably still should do it, because there's other guys I can play. I like Jordan Love, though. I just want to make it clear. I like Jordan Love. I think that Jaden Reed and Dontavian Wicks are 2 very good wide receiver plays. I don't hate the Bo Melton play either, just because Dobbs is a little banged up with the chest injury that he picked up a week or 2 ago. And then you got Reed, who's always been banged up throughout the year, and Watson, who's clearly not 100%. I think I'm going to have more Melton, though, on the showdown slates, but I could see Melton, getting his way onto the field, a little bit, and he's very cheap as well. But, I also think that you could play Jordan Love. You could make the case that there's so many receivers and so many different outcomes that you could play him naked. And this would be almost a unique way where you play Jordan Love without any guys. He spreads it around enough.
It's like Brock Purdy,
he spreads it around it enough. And then you play 2 or 3 Dallas guys with Jordan Love and no Packers. And that's very different. So, Ken, is Melton out? No, Melton is in.
Melton is not out.
I think they inactivated Heath. Heath is inactive. So
he's an inactive. He's not hurt. He's just an inactive, right?
I think that's what Kevin. I'm going to double check right now while we move on to the next.
They got 5 receivers. You guys are
no. Right. I'm just saying. I want to make sure he's inactive. There's
he's
a
inactive.
difference.
They got 5 receivers. You guys are right all along.
Okay.
Next game, Rams.
All your picks were perfect. Don't let the chat. Yeah.
No.
Okay. It just
everything
it
you said is
me.
perfect. 5 receivers. Everything you said was
beautiful.
Right.
Okay.
That's why I make a case for Melton. Rams, Detroit. I think Rams are a wagon. Someone put a $4,000 bet for them, $40,000 bet for $1 million or whatever to win the Super Bowl, and I didn't hate it. I think the Rams beat Detroit today. Matt Stafford narrative, going back to Detroit against Jared Goff. I like one of Kupp or Nakua. I think Kyron is the question, an expensive running back, but in a shitty running back day, could he have a ceiling type game? I love the Rams defense. I cannot believe that I think they're the cheapest and they're not highly projected own. Rams defense for me is a lock. A lot of people are playing Stafford. And then the big 3K one, and I was surprised he was 50%. Well, not surprised, but I was hoping he wasn't 50%, is Demarcus Robinson in the 3K range, right? He's had some huge games recently. If I believe that the Rams are going to put one up on Detroit, and I also like Higbee. I don't like a lot on the Detroit side at all. Except for, like I said, the 3K range with 2 guys that Big T loves, Jameson Williams and Josh Reynolds. Again, that's in the 3K bucket with the Meltons, with the Tolberts, with the Robinsons. Robinson's 50K owned, though, 50% owned, though. So I like the Rams side. I love the Rams defense. And yeah, at least one of the 2 big stud receivers. And that's why you can spend down on running back, or should.
Yeah, Tony, I think this game's going to be, a very good game as well. You got 2 50-point totals here, 53 for this game. So it's the highest total on the board. I assume you're going to be all over this game if you hate the Packers side.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an interesting slate with the way the pricing sets up, because you have a lot of offense on this slate, and especially at receiver. And I mean, that second game, there's definitely, even though I love Dallas, I mean, there's a case to be made that just stay light on that first game and load up this game because, I mean, Detroit's defense has been overrated to me all year. The Rams have been underrated, but Detroit's offense is still great. I mean, there's a reason the total both these totals were similar early in the week, and now the Cowboys stayed pretty the same. Detroit's up to 53 now. You got perfect conditions in these two games. I could definitely, I think I already registered for everything, but if there's still spots, I might just do two different teams with the 2-game slate. We're talking 3-game, but the 2-game slate where I go super light on the first game on one of them and like literally play like Rico Dowdle only or one or two pieces and then just full like an example of a team I would do this is play Rico Dowdle, and I might even do this because what I did, I got the 3-gamer and the 2-gamer, and with the Buffalo game, I want to be light on that anyways. So honestly, maybe the 3-gamer, I play it how I want to, and then the 2-gamer, maybe I go light on the Dallas game and just full jam this game to give myself a little bit of a natural hedge. But how I would do that is literally in the first game, play Rico and Patrick Taylor. All your savings is at running back. And then just full jam all the good guys in this second game. You're going to be unique, and you don't even need anything crazy to happen where if the first game is a blowout, if it's low scoring, if weird stuff happens, you get to that second game, and you're going to have everyone low-owned or lower-owned on a 2-game slate because everyone's going to have a ton of pieces in this first game. So you just have such a clear path to victory. As far as just looking at the game, though, I mean, yeah, it's a great spot. I mean, at quarterback is where I'll be the lightest. I'm not going to play near as much Stafford or Goff. I talked about this on the Print Factory, whoever watched that. Love the offenses. I just don't see myself using the quarterbacks because JSU talked about it on there. Both teams like to score with running backs. So it just vultures some of their touchdowns. I just don't like them as much. I would even play, even though I don't like Green Bay, I would play Jordan Love over these guys just because I just don't love it. I'd rather get my exposure to other spots. Running back, obviously, I love Kyron. I like Gibbs. I've had issues with Gibbs, though, where a lot of times it gets to the end of these Detroit games, and I'm like, why did I play Gibbs over Amon-Ra? I know they're not the same price. They're not. But it's a similar price range where you're going up for a Detroit guy. Gibbs and Montgomery both vulture each other. You don't really know. So today I'm kind of leaning into it more, which is another reason I think you can fade running back a little bit on the 2-gamer. Is I want to play Amon-Ra over Gibbs and Montgomery. And again, I know they're different prices, but that's what I want to do. I want Amon-Ra over them, which brings me to receiver. Love Amon-Ra. I want him with CD. I don't think a lot of people will do that. I think a lot of them will play one or the other because it's tough. Love Puka, love Kupp, love DeMarcus Robinson as a cheap guy. Jameson's a great cheap guy. You just have so many good plays. I know it sounds like I'm not having stands. It's because I like all these guys. And that's where you can go to roster construction. So if you go the running back route, which I think a lot of people are going to do, I think a ton of people are going to play Aaron Jones, Kyron, Pollard, all these guys, and they're going to play Jameson and DeMarcus Robinson, which is fine. They're cheap. I just want to flip the build, even if that means I have to punt the spot. I really want to flip the build and play these top receivers where when Puka gets 35 in this game, you're smashing people. When Cooper Kupp gets 35, you're smashing people all the way to the top. And then at tight end, I love Ferguson. You look at the rest of the slate, I just don't see playing one of these tight ends in this game unless – you go the punt route and you play a Brock Wright at 3K, a Davis Allen.
Wait a second, you said Ferguson.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably playing Ferguson on everything just because I
in the Dallas game. Okay.
Yeah, but I was just using it for the tight end. Like I'm not playing Higbee. There's no freaking way I'm playing Higbee. Higbee's actually going to get ownership too on these 3 and 2 gamers. So
the only other one I would say, Tony, next game is Kincaid. Like in a snow game, like he could get 6 for 60.
Oh, I know JSU loves Kincaid too.
Yeah, and he's a little cheaper, but the tight end's position does suck here.
I love Ferguson today, but yeah, I think they're close. I mean, I'm kind of more.
Yeah, you could play someone similar priced as Ferguson in a snowstorm. That's kind of where I'm at. I love Dalton Kincaid, but I just don't see how you can play him over Ferguson. for the
Yeah,
same price.
I mean, I think you could play them together, honestly.
Definitely could do that. Absolutely could do that. And that's a great route because the rest of the tight ends on this slate, outside of just punting, which I'm okay punting with anyone that's on the field, like we saw yesterday. Outside of that, like I'm not playing Higbee, I'm not playing Tucker Kraft, Freiermuth. I'm not playing those guys. I'm either punting or I'm playing Kincaid or Ferguson.
Yep.
No, I wish Brock Wright was 2,500 like Stone Man because he's 3K. I think if I was to take a shot on like a cheapie, it might be him just because I could see Laporta playing less. But Dan Campbell loves his tight ends.
Laporta. I mean, you'd have to have balls of steel to play that guy.
I can't pay 6K for him, but I agree with you though on a lot of what you said. The quarterbacks, I'm not. If I had to choose between them, I'd play probably Stafford. But
I'd play Stafford for sure because he's got 3. Even Kyron, you could play. I mean, he's got options. So he definitely does.
I think the Rams are going far. I just think if you like the Rams today, we
all like the Rams.
We all like the Rams. I love the Rams. Yeah. So the other guy that I don't know if you brought him up, but DeMarcus Robinson at 3,600, he's just mispriced. Like on this slate.
Yeah, that's why. Everyone's going to play him.
Everyone's going to play him. Jameson Williams.
Why I think there's so much value in flipping the build because he can easily get you a donut. Easily. They got so many weapons.
He could, but you said it though. The best play is Amon-Ra. And I
love Amon-Ra.
He's like
one
of
my
my favorite
with CD though, because the people that play him are not going to play CD.
Yeah, no, I agree because it's hard to play both those guys together. It's hard. I just have this feeling though he's going to be like the highest scoring player on the slate. I don't know why.
I have the same feeling because he's going.
I just think he might even outscore CD. As crazy as that sounds.
That
I know.
Amon-Ra?
Yeah, I just love Amon-Ra here. So I like your idea of flipping the builds and playing both those guys together because I agree with you. I think they're going to get a lot of ownership. Just I don't know how much ownership they'll get together. So
I put CD down to a 20, and I think I have Amon-Ra at 22. He's just going to get so much volume.
I got Amon-Ra even higher than you. What do I have him at right now? I think I got him at.
God, Uncle Lenny getting 2 touchdowns, and we fucking ship. That's the play. Rams defense, love.
20. I got him at 25.
That's your projection?
On Amon-Ra, yeah. I just think without Sam Laporta fully healthy, playoff game, the middle of the field, which is where Amon-Ra feasts, which is where the Rams struggle. It just sets up. It's funny because CD and him are like the same. Like both teams, they struggle with that position, and it does feel like CD and Amon-Ra are going to nuke both these teams.
I want both of them for sure. And people. So I've got a bunch of questions in my DMs today about how do you play them both together, and I'm going to give my same thing I always say on these 2 gamers: punt the spot. And I don't care if you hate the guy that you punt. If you punt a 2,500 tight end or something. I don't care because when these guys both get 40, you are trampling the field, even with your 0. When you play Uncle Lenny, you play Patrick Taylor, you play Rico Dowdle, you play a cheap tight end. You can get – this is not a full slate NFL where you need every guy to crush. This is short slates. And there will be busts.
And you can
don't be scared to punt a spot.
And you can punt the defenses too, just because you play CD. That doesn't mean you can't
play Green Bay's D, even if you got all Dallas.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if that gets you everything you want, do it. You know what I mean? Just
and you might win because of it when you somehow get when you play all Dallas and you play Green Bay's D just because you have to, and they get a pick 6 right out of the gate. You are literally
Houston.
Woo,
if you played, I know it didn't work with Joe Flacco, but if you played Houston's D with Joe Flacco and you got that start like that, and then the pick 6s happened, you were probably like, yes, I might be able to do it. I might be able to outscore CJ and win all the money with a Joe Flacco Houston defense of team or something like that. So, yeah, 100% it can happen. And I wouldn't be shocked.
Because there's so much variance in defense. That's why I have to force min-max on that because the projections are meaningless. So I play a heavier load on, and it's what's Rams projected at 7%? Did I see? I thought that was insane. But I guess people love the Lions side. Rams are projected at 5% owned. I can't believe that to be true. But,
yeah, like on this slate, I have Jordan Love a ton, and I got the Cowboys defense a ton.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
don't be afraid to do
you
stuff like that.
You got to play the Packers defense, at least a bit of them.
And I'd play him. I wouldn't care if I was playing Dak. I'd play the Packers defense again. If that gets you CD and Amon-Ra with Dak, like if you could somehow find a way to do that, that's fine with me.
I think Poston's minus 13. I think he's one back. This motherfucker's going to win at 110-1, which we called at 3:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Like the third hole? What are you sweating so hard? Do I got to pull this up?
It's the 13th hole, baby.
Wait, where's has the leader started yet, Wiley? Has he started playing? Okay.
Posted 7 under through 12.
Oh my God.
It's Keegan Bradley and Grayson Murray. That's who he's chasing.
They're 9 holes behind him.
It's Keegan Bradley.
You're like Rubio with the sweating. They're 3 holes freaking in, and you're on the edge of your seat.
Because we talked about 110-1 at the beginning, and the comment section's happy.
I will say if he talked about 110-1, I'd be sweating a little bit too when this guy goes on an absolute heater and is that close. What is he now, Wiley? 40-1? What is he now?
He's got to be 25-1 right now.
He's 22-1.
I bet him.
Get in there with you.
So I bet him like 10 minutes ago, and he was 50-1.
Yeah, I bet him.
And that was 10 minutes ago.
Keegan's definitely gonna. How's Grayson Murray up there?
Yeah,
man.
Isn't like Sam Stevens up there too?
He's the third favorite right now.
I love all the Keegan people in the chat. Mad that I'm excited about JT Poston.
I love
this. Is the guy, Wiley. If this dude ships and I pull out a 400-1 ticket, Wiley, you're gonna Wiley's gonna literally cream down his pants like live on air.
Carl, you won minus 11, baby. We are just smashing in the golf chat.
All right. This podcast now censored by Speedstick.
Speedstick brought to you by Speedstick.
All right, Pittsburgh Buffalo final game. Josh Allen, Mason Rudolph. Does the move? Did you guys, Tony? I saw you showed that video of this the guy who showed like downtown and the guy who showed like the actual.
It's insane. It's fucking insane, and it's not stopping for 24 hours.
Yeah. Did you see the video?
They're going to move this to Tuesday. Like I still am scared.
It's not getting better.
I know that's the thing. Yeah, it's like
there's 12 inches more of snow in 12 hours. I mean, they're going to.
I just don't even get it.
My way. This storm, please don't come my way. I don't want that storm over here. Please stay away from Massachusetts.
And like it just doesn't make any sense. Like you have 2 great games inside.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that people aren't going to win playing this game, but how my head works, it's insane to play a lot of pieces, any pieces from this besides cheap pieces, unowned pieces.
Yep.
Really that. Like I would never spend up for this game. Like I don't see any reason to spend up on Diggs. Like I don't need Diggs in this weather.
No. And he's going to be low owned. I thought, well, it's low on price. And I looked at the weather. I was like, fuck that.
I mean, you just need to get lucky. You need him to break one. You need him to like. I'm not. How can you play Diggs over all these receivers?
You need him to break 2. Honestly, you need him to break 2.
Here is the thing. So the Buffalo Bills are going to get 1 or 2 touchdowns, right? I'm not sure the Steelers will, but the Bills are going to get. Does Allen run them in? Even on low passing games with 1 touchdown, Allen with his legs and running in the end zone still seems to score 22 every week. I don't think it's enough for an 8K quarterback when you got Dak Prescott cheaper. So, but Fournette, he's playing, right? Fournette, 1 or 2 touchdowns, 8 points to 12 points for Fournette. We are rolling on a shitty running back slate. And I don't love it, but in this type of game, Kincaid, does he get like a 7-60-1? In also a shitty tight end game. Those are the questions I have here. But I agree with Tony. I like nothing else. I like Najee Harris. Excuse me. Najee Harris might be a lock. Low 5s. He'll get all the work. Mason Rudolph is Mason Rudolph. But
Najee falls into that value bucket though. Like for me, where you're not playing him as a stud running back. You're playing him as a value running back to get you 20 carries and 12 points. If he gets you 12 for that price, I think you're in good shape.
Yeah, he could be higher scoring than many running backs in the slate for more money. And he could be 17 points. He could be 100 rushing yard game and a touchdown, it's over. I mean, a case for locking Najee Harris over everyone in this slate. Well, with a CeeDee Lamb, I think, is viable. Yeah. And Steeler defense. You've got to play some Steeler defense in this game. Of course you do. I don't know if they're still going to be 25% owned, which is, I don't necessarily agree with that projection. With Rams being 2,705%, I guess people love Detroit. But yeah, of course you have to play some Steelers defense.
I mean,
I think people would rather punt with the shitty weather game than punt with the Packers against the top quarterback on the slate. You know what I think?
Perfect conditions.
In perfect, exactly. So
I mean, like if Pittsburgh say they flipped it and Pittsburgh and they were Pittsburgh and Buffalo was playing in the dome like Dallas, I would hate Pittsburgh's D. Like they would get torched, but they're in a freaking blizzard. Like it's not the same thing. Anything.
Yeah.
If they were playing in Lambeau in Buffalo conditions, but in Lambeau Field, you would like Green Bay's defense a ton against anybody. Like if it's that bad, you know what I mean? So it's just a matter of the conditions of anything else. But I agree with you guys that it's kind of tough to play outside of like a Pittsburgh running back.
Stacked the game down on the 3. I posted in the Courts chat today too because I knew this would happen. There's like 9 different slates. It's all complicated. There's no way we weren't going to mess something up, but yeah, use it for how.
What did he do? He stacked one game?
He's got the Tampa game in his freaking 3-game slate. It's not even on the slate.
Oh, yeah. Because he's just on Tampa on the main slate, too.
Who
so
is?
He's got like the
who is
DC.
Oh.
Yeah. That's all right. It happens.
I mean,
there's
9, to be fair, like as a content provider, there's 9 different slates, showdown. Like it's easy to get confused with the different stuff.
The good thing is we have like 80,000 cores.
Yeah.
So you guys can follow any other of the cores that you want.
I did that too. Like I got my 3-gamer and 2-gamer, and I usually play similar. I kind of did what I was talking about, where I got 2 totally different builds. So I'm gonna not hedge, but hedge a little bit between the 2 and the 3-gamer.
I think that's how you got to play it, honestly. When you play like 2 teams,
especially
like
with
that.
these 2 games, like I freaking love both games, but I love the Rams like you guys both do. But then to play the Rams, you got to give up Dallas. You can't have both. You can't afford it.
People play 2 teams wrong. Like you said, I think a lot of people play 2 teams. Like I'm going to play this team and I'm going to play the team that's the 2v2 that I'm going between.
And your 2v2s like Shakir to Jamison Williams.
So you're playing you're playing the exact same team though, is the point. Yeah. Like you're literally the same build. But when you do one team and then you flip the build on another team and you have a completely different team, then you have 2 teams that can ship depending on which way one goes. You know what I mean? So that's the way you got to play if you only play 2 teams or something like that. But I mean, Big T, anything else here from the Buffalo game that we missed? Buffalo, Pittsburgh.
I agree with what you guys said. The only guys I like in the game are the Pittsburgh, Najee in the defense, and Buffalo, it's Tupac. Like those are the 3 guys that I'm playing. And I really don't. Oh, Fournette too. I can put Fournette in the punt bucket with Wiley. Punts, defenses, and that's it, really.
How crazy would this be, though, if it did stretch to like Tuesday? And what do they do with like payouts? Like
they already announced that it's going to be on there, so I mean they're going to hold it until that game's played. I mean, I don't see how they would change it.
They said New York governor said they won't push Bill's game back again. Well, that's
going to be playing it on Tuesday because I'm going to be way underweight on it. So I do not want, and by underweight, the plays aren't going to be high owned, but I'm going to be underweight the low owned guys.
Yeah.
Knox is 2,900. Is he in play?
Absolutely. He's in my bucket
for sure.
He's absolutely in it. I wouldn't play Knox and Kincaid, although that's an interesting build.
Definitely don't play multiple from this game.
Yeah. It's like it's going to be a Knox, Kincaid, Fournette, or Allen running it in. And I think,
one note too about Pittsburgh's D, because I know some people are playing FanDuel. It's a 4-gamer on FanDuel. There's $1 million prize pool on the contest, and stuff like the Pittsburgh defense on FanDuel that's $3K. with this many studs on a slate is like borderline locky to me, where you just play it. They're 3K. You save money on defense. And same thing goes for tight end, where I love Ferguson. He's 6,200. But you can always find guys that are just dirt, like Brock Wright. Peyton Hendershot is 4,200. So the same strategy I got for DraftKings, you can punt hard. Like if you play Peyton Hendershot at 4,200 and the Steelers D, you can play all your studs, and Peyton Hendershot could catch a touchdown. It's not that crazy. He's 4,200. He's 2K cheaper than Ferguson. So not only does he leverage the Ferguson play, but he gives you 2K in savings. You can afford Amon-Ra, CD, Kyron, whoever you want by doing it.
Yeah, there you go. Guys, so, we broke down all three games. Real quick, Tony, who'd you like in the Buffalo-Pittsburgh game? Were you on Buffalo or Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh till they moved it back. I think I'm still on Pittsburgh because the spread's 10 now.
Okay.
I don't know. I like it less now than I did, though.
Yeah, I mean, I like Buffalo when it was, 9 before, or 9 somewhere. It was like 9.5 somewhere. I was on the Buffalo side. Wiley, were you on Buffalo or Pittsburgh?
I like Buffalo, but not out. It was just a sloppy, freezing, mega snow game with some fumbles, recoveries. Defense probably plays a little bit, but Fournette, sort of low, barreling his way in for 2. That's how I see it.
Be an interesting showdown slate too. That game's going to be.
I don't think Mason Rudolph completes a pass. I
can see that. I mean, it's going to be crazy weather. So, all right, guys, you want to give plays of the day? Wiley, you got cores for the people? You got the cores?
I've got it. We got 29 minutes to get this up. I'll have a core up. I don't know if I have your cores.
Yeah, I mean, it's the show. It's the Witcher. We got to give our cores.
Big T is Rico Dottle, and you are Diami Brown.
Still,
he doesn't even play on this slate.
It's always Diami Brown.
It'll still be my favorite play of the year when he housed that one, and I just knew it. JSU had a smile wherever he was.
Then I sent the video to you guys in shitty picture and all. It was great. What a great day.
I think to me, my play of the day is Najee Harris. If I was going to lock a play, it'd be him. I think he's just value. He's going to get all the work. He's had 3 great games in a row. He's a moose. He can handle this weather. And then, there's a lot of 3K guys I like in terms of receivers. Tolbert would probably be my 335-1. But I like Fournette. I'm starting with Najee and Leonard Fournette, and then letting the other things roll.
All right. So Najee and Tolbert were your plays. I just think Tony Pollard smashes today. I don't know why. So he'll be my high owned play. And for my low owned play, I think Dontavian Wicks is going to be, I think he's just a stud. I think him and Jaden Reed are clearly just the 2 best guys. Christian Watson's just never going to be healthy. He's shown that for years, this year and last year. Just never going to work with him. But I think they have something in Wicks. And, man, he just looks really good to me. So I like Green Bay a lot, though. So, obviously, I'm in on that game. Tony, what do you got here for plays?
This is a great slate, first of all. Like, you have a lot of offense, a lot of ways to go. And I fully expect both games to get points, too. So,
pricing is good too.
Who?
Pricing is good too.
Pricing's good. It challenges you to where you can either play safe or you can get a little creative with the Fournette plays, the Rico plays, the guys like that, to where I'm going to do that for sure. I'm not just going in here and playing these chalk builds and min cashing. I'm trying to win today. And my play of the day is going to be Puka Nacua. I think he's going to crush Detroit. And again, like, I got 2 different slates, so this slate's going one way or another. But just as far as my favorite play of the day is Puka. I think he crushes, and I think he sneaks through the cracks with CD up higher, Amon-Ra. Some of the slates, you got the Tampa Bay guys and stuff in there. You got Goff. You got Kyron. Everyone wants to play. I meant Kupp, not Goff. You got Kupp. You got Kyron. Everyone wants to play Kyron. I think Puka sneaks through the cracks, and he's looked so freaking good to me lately, like dominant good. So him, my lone guy, it's going to be a stinker, but I'm going to use him a bunch, so I'll give it. It's actually Patrick Taylor for Green Bay because I'm not playing Aaron Jones hardly at all. He's 4K, which gives me the savings I need. I think he could get some third. I don't think Aaron Jones is just going to be in there every single play. So I think he's going to sneak me some catches and grind me out about 8 points, which if you guaranteed me 8, I'd be thrilled because I want Amon-Ra, Puka, CD, Kupp. I could keep going down the list of all the spend ups I want. So Patrick Taylor and Rico Dowdle both fit my builds. Sneaky. I'm trying to win today, though. I'm going to play some different builds.
I like it. All right. Well, that's very unique. If you play Rico and Patrick Taylor together, and that's your only 2 guys from that game, Tony, that's the leverage build right there.
I do got one more guy in that build. I'm not going to say who it is, but that's the gist of the build, though.
Yeah, like that's.
You can see it in my core, though, if you're a member at Run Pure Sports. You can see my 2-game core. That's my 2-game core.
That's right.
Yeah. Code New Year, get you 15% off, gets you the winner circle, hopefully. And if not, then we always got tomorrow, right, Tony? We always got tomorrow.
Right back tomorrow I haven't seen the slates, but I'm almost positive they'll give us a 2-gamer tomorrow, too, with a couple good showdowns.
Yep, and we will have a 3 p.m. Eastern time show. I think it's going to be premium. So if you like the show, you want the show, you're going to have to sign up and use the code New Year's and get in on the winners for that show. Prez, final words here. Anything else you've invented in the last hour?
Yeah, Keegan Bradley, bogey. So all you Bradley, Keegan donks, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Keegan is a choker.
I told him in the chat, it's 81% owned Keegan Bradley. 81% owned. He's done.
The Sunday showdown stuff's always big. People refuse to fade those leaders.
Yeah, no NBA show today. We'll be back tomorrow. We will have, I think, one tomorrow. I'm just waiting for the slate to open up and see where the main slate is for the time. But we will have one NBA show tomorrow. And then, obviously, the 3 p.m. football show here. So we'll still have you covered on the show for the holiday. If you guys got nothing to do, you want the winners, we'll have it either here on the YouTube channel.
They put up 2 stinker ones for tomorrow. I wanted to look while you were saying it. They put up a 2-gamer and a 3-gamer in the morning. So we might be normal time for NBA tomorrow.
All right, so you'll probably have a normal,
it's not big ones, though, so maybe they add one still, but it looks like the main's going to be at night.
All right, well, then maybe I'll have the normal time, 4:45 for that show. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it. Tony, last words for you before we get out of here.
Excited for some football today. 2, in all honesty, we got different takes on the games, but 2 really good games. I mean, 2 indoors, so we don't have to worry. The weather's fun. But I also like some good indoor games where we can see the ball chucked around the yard too. So I like the change up with it. I'm excited for these 2 games. They're going to be fun.
I thought when I said final words, I really thought you were going to get my meaning and said, how about them Cowboys? Yeah. I really thought you were going to go with it too. I really thought you had it.
That's my intro for tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Not go Pack Go. That's not going to be
Wiley on the Packers game.
Cowboys, I think.
Cowboys. Do you guys not listen to what I say?
All I heard you say.
I knew you were on the Cowboys.
Going to win.
There were so many instances today where you didn't even listen to what I was saying.
I heard JT posting and Lenny Fournette.
No, JSU goes, does anyone like Reynolds? And I just talked about him. No, sorry, Demarcus Robinson. I just talked about him for 25 minutes.
All right, well, I listened to your Cowboys take at least. What do you want me to do, all right? I can't listen to everything. I mean, geez, shouldn't expect that much from me. All right, that's going to be it. Go Pack. Well, maybe the Cowboys will win, but screw
you,
Tony.
JT posting, baby.